Undugu was started by Father Grohl in 1973. Father Grohl had lived in Tanzania for many years. And Tanzania, after independence, coined this terminology of Undugu, which means brotherhood or sisterhood, comradeship with the poor. So when Father Grohl came to Nairobi, he saw young boys, that time young boys, not very many, less than 100, were not in school, they were roaming the streets. Father Grohl called them to join a club of Undugu, of comradeship, to help them get out of the streets, go back to school. And that's how Undugu started. And up to now, Undugu is focused on street children. From that humble beginning, Undugu realized that the majority of street children were actually living in the slums of Nairobi. So Undugu tackled slum poverty issues. Then Undugu also realized that some of these children were being stigmatized. They weren't allowed to go back to public schools. So Undugu started its own schools, where children who are over 10, who never went to school, even some who are younger, were able to get a chance to go back to school. After being involved in service delivery for over 30 years, we realize that we are only doing a drop in the ocean. Many children in the streets, the problem is increasing, poverty is increasing in Kenya. So we decided that let us change focus so that we can look at critical issues which affect poverty, which brings poverty and underdevelopment. And that's why we said, look, for street children program, let us use children and youth who have been in the streets longer to form associations so that they can write their own history and they can address their own challenges. Because they have been there longer, they know the situation better, and we realize that let us form them into associations so that they can be very instrumental under child participation as a right to look at the challenges affecting them on the streets. And Undugu will learn from them how this issue can be addressed. So this strategic plan, which is 2006-2010, made Undugu change our focus completely, because we were convinced that time has come when Kenyans must hold their government accountable. Thank God, we are also seeing also a change in the government. The government is becoming more accountable. The basic of digital story is that the children and youth themselves are writing their reality and charting their history and sharing that reality with the global community. Because the issues that affect the children and youth in Kenya are structural, are political, are economic, are also global. And as long as this information is shared, the whole world will learn how to address the phenomenon, which is also global. It is the first time in Undugu's history that children and youth who have been excluded, who have been marginalized, can be heard through digital story in the global community. I'm very proud of this project, and I believe that from the reaction we are getting in the digital story, see, this is the right track. My vision in 5 years that the digital story will become a global learning and information sharing. It will also help the global community understand the dynamics and challenges faced by children who are out of school or who are out of their homes and who need care. It will also influence policy, both national policy and even regional policy, on how the street children phenomenon can be addressed. I also feel it will also, in one way or another, influence also resource allocation. Yeah. In Kenyan context, it will create change of heart, because street children have always been seen as criminals, as elements that should be weeded out. I think the world will be able to respond from the eyes and ears of the children themselves on what they are facing